Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the show today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool made for marketers and business leaders who spend hours a day on content creation. Campaign Assistant will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. Craft personalized emails, ads, and landing pages in just a matter of minutes. Just pick the content type, add the key selling points, and let the AI take it from there. And the best part, it works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
What's going on, everyone? It's Wednesday, April 12th. I'm Zachary Crockett here with Rob Litterst, and you're listening to the Hustle Daily Show. And Rob, do you know what it is today?
I don't, Zach. What is it?
It's our 300th episode.
What?
Number 300. Yep.
That is crazy.
Yep. It's a monster milestone.
Some might say that, yeah.
But I should say, I don't know if we're allowed to use that word. Today, we are talking about Monster, the energy drink company. And apparently, they think they own the word Monster. And they have a very long history of suing anyone who tries to use it. We're going to get into that today. But first, let's take a look at what else is going on in the world of business and tech. French regulators are preparing to take action against Apple for alleged antitrust violations. That investigation is going to center on the company's 2021 app tracking change that cost its rivals billions of dollars in ad revenue. And when we say rivals, we're mainly talking about Facebook and Google there. The New York Times has launched a new game called Digits. The beta version of the math-based puzzle game will be free for a limited time. And I feel like the Times is becoming sort of like the EA games for puzzle lovers. They've got Wordle, they've got crossword puzzles. They are truly cornering the boomer gaming market there.
So true. EA games for the hyper literator.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. The FTC ordered the makers of Nature's Bounty vitamins, they're called the Bountiful Company, to pay $600,000 over deceptive Amazon reviews. The company is accused of merging product reviews to boost ratings. And that's actually a pretty popular tactic with third-party sellers who try to game reviews on Amazon. The FBI has issued a warning against using public USB charging ports. Think airports and malls. They say that bad actors have basically figured out a way to use these ports to introduce malware and monitoring software onto smart devices. So their advice is to carry your own charger and USB cord wherever you go and avoid those airport USB chargers.
Good to know.
A few weeks ago, Elon Musk and his team at Twitter decided to label NPR as government-funded media. People had a lot of questions about why he made that determination about the donor-funded nonprofit media company. And now we have a little insight. He told a reporter that he's using Wikipedia to research where funding comes from. Not audited reports, Wikipedia. So there it is. And lastly, while we're talking about Twitter, former executives, including the ex-CEO Parag Agrawal, have sued Twitter, claiming that the company owes them over $1 million in unpaid legal fees. Twitter's got a lot of legal fees to pay. And speaking of lawsuits, let's move on to our main story today. We're talking Monster Energy. You ever had one of these bad boys, Rob?
Embarrassingly, I have, Zach.
Okay.
I've had plenty of Monsters. I actually had a little era where I drank a lot of Monsters. I think they had this specific drink called Monster, I think either Nitro or Nitrous.
Nitrous sounds dangerous.
Yeah, and they literally have like a twist-off cap, and you would pop this thing, and it would make this crazy sound. Like there's just so much gas or whatever coming out of this can. It was freaking crazy. But for some reason, me and one of my buddies like kind of got addicted to these things in college. And so I've drank my fair share of Monsters, but not in over 10 years.
I feel like the energy drink phase is it's like a coming of age ritual for college men.
100%.
You know, you got to go through your rock star Monster era.
Yeah, it's a pretty embarrassing era because I think the Monster era coincided pretty closely with the Keystone Light era. And so just a lot of poor decisions going around during this era.
Yeah. Well, the news lead here is that Monster is suing this company called Glowstick Entertainment. And the reason they're suing Glowstick Entertainment is because this gaming company has a new game called Dark Deception: Monsters and Mortals. That's it.
That's insane.
That's the reason for the lawsuit. And as I understand it, it's the word monster in particular. What's the concern here, Rob?
So that is my exact question, Zach. So ultimately, it sounds like they think they just own the word monster outright. Like if you look at this, there's absolutely no confusion. You look at these trademark lawsuits, and most of the time, for them to be legitimate, there has to be something that's kind of confusing to consumers, right? Like, oh, well, maybe another energy drink comes along and they have like Monster or Beast or something like that in their company name. Like that could be confusing with Monster, right? So like I could actually see them pursuing that. But this is a video game. It has absolutely nothing to do with an energy drink.
Yeah.
This is just a pure trademark troll play, which it doesn't get much worse than this.
And a lot of folks have cited Monster Energy Drink as sort of one of the notorious trademark trolls in business. And those claims seem to have some merit. As you said, they're not going after other energy drinks that are using the word monster. They're going after literally anyone who uses the word monster. Let's go over a few of these examples here because this list is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, this is crazy.
They went after an ice cream company called Nice Monster. They went after something called the Sleeve Monster. It's a tool for removing shirt sleeves, which, by the way,
it's a genius idea.
A genius business idea. The meal prep service Beauty and the Beast Cuisine.
That's just insane.
These are just real stretch. The Potty Monsters, a line of diapers for adults who enjoy dressing like babies. I have a lot of questions about that one, but
So what confuses me about this is it's created by Hansen Natural Company in April of 2002. Monster.com, the job site, was around before that.
Yeah.
The word monster was around well before that. I mean, you didn't even mention, it's filed a bunch of objections in Japan, including against Pokemon, which is short for Pocket Monsters. But Pokemon's way older than Monster. Like Pokemon's been around since the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Earliest. And so like, how can you sue a company for having your name in their company name when they were around before you? Like, that's just pure insanity. I mean, it reminds me honestly of when LeBron James tried to trademark Taco Tuesday, which was just like the most egregious thing
that's ridiculous
I've ever seen. Like people have been saying Taco Tuesday for like since the dawn of time.
The Litterst family has enjoyed Taco Tuesday for decades.
Yes. We've been enjoying Taco Tuesday for decades. Exactly. Before LeBron's high school days, even. It's crazy.
What was like, not to go on a tangent here, but like, what was LeBron's whole deal with Taco Tuesday? Like, why did he think he even owned that in the first place?
It's actually really funny. So there's a Reddit thread where some user apparently went into LeBron James' stats and found that Taco Tuesday is actually bad for him as a basketball player. He's performed poorly following Taco Tuesdays, which makes all of this even funnier.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. 134 objections in Japan alone for Monster Energy Drink.
Insane. So my question with this though, Zach, is like, does this tactic even work? Like, have they won any of these suits? Because some of these are just insane.
So believe it or not, back in 2020, Monster filed a dispute against the company Ubisoft, and Ubisoft changed the title of their video game. Now, it wasn't really clear if Monster's threat had any cachet in that decision, but the timing was suspicious. I mean, Monster filed a dispute, Ubisoft changed the name of one of their games. If that case would have gone to trial, one attorney told the publication Video Game Chronicles that Ubisoft probably would have won that lawsuit because, quote, opposition to U.S. Patent and Trademark Office filing can essentially win the day because it's too expensive to fight. These trademark suits are extraordinarily expensive and time-consuming to fight.
Yeah, that's what makes this so disgusting.
Yeah. There was another case here, Monster Fish Keepers, an online group for large fish enthusiasts. They actually won a lawsuit. They hired a pro bono law clinic and they took on Monster. And it was found that they could keep their name. Monster had no right to Monster.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And you noted here they ultimately intend to share Monster's tactics with other game developers so they can vanquish Monster in the future, which is amazing. They should literally open source that.
Oh, for sure.
So that anybody can beat Monster.
Yeah, Juliet, our writer who wrote this story, just spent hours yesterday reading about all the various lawsuits. And she was like, I could have written, 4,000 words on all the lawsuits that Monster has filed. They literally go after anyone and everyone. To answer your previous question, I have no idea like how this tactic works out for them. I don't know why they're interested in protecting sort of the IP of Monster outside of energy drinks, or why that would even be a concern for them. I mean, Monster, the word is everywhere.
Right.
Monsters Inc. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I was watching Succession last night, and one of the children referred to Logan Roy as a monster, which people use that word all the time in a million different ways.
The monster lawyers have a letter out already to the Roy family.
Yeah. It just seems like a massive waste of time. And the ironic thing is, hasn't Monster actually lost a lawsuit before around trademarks?
Yeah, the funny thing about this is that Monster itself had to pay the Beastie Boys almost $2 million for using music without their permission in a video, which, by the way, is a much more egregious copyright violation
right.
than anything they're trying to file. I mean, yes, you have to get permission to use people's music in an advertising campaign.
Right.
So while they're out trolling the patent trademark office, they are simultaneously helping themselves to other people's creative work.
Zach, they're absolute monsters.
They're freaking monsters, man. And we'll just leave it there. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clarke. If you want more tech and business coverage, go check out our newsletter at thehustle.co/email. That's where you can get yourself signed up and find an archive of all our newsletters and all the other good stuff. We'll catch you all tomorrow.
Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.